Hello everyone, welcome to another session on introducing literature. In this session, this is like the last session on our discussions on module 3 of the textbook. And this session we are going to discuss about the work The Adivasi Will Not Dance by Hansda Suvendra Shekhar. And I might break the video into 2 or 3 sessions depending on the length of the video. Okay, so what I would like to say is like this is like a different, or you can say a new concept. It is basically about the marginalized sections of the society. Okay, we have seen Dalit issues, we have seen the issues of the blacks, of women, all these voices we have seen. What exactly are their concerns, how they look at life, all these things we have discussed so far. And I can say that this particular write-up, or you can say this particular excerpt, is from what we call in literature now as a fourth world literature. The first world is the European and the American literature. Second world is the so-called communist kind of literature. The third world is the developing nations, that we are talking about right now, of India, of Africa, all these developing countries we call as the third world. And the fourth world, those people who are the real owners of the land, but they are thrown out of those places. Especially we are talking about the Adivasis. Okay, they have a kind of inheritance of the so-called forest area, or the so-called restricted area. Right now we are talking about, okay, they were living there for centuries, but right now they have been thrown out of their land. They have been thrown out of their culture, their language. Okay, so all these things we right now call as fourth world literature. Okay, so this is like a powerful writing, and he actually makes us feel what he actually wants to tell us. He gives that, he in fact shares that feeling into our mind once we read this particular passage. So I want all of you to read it. I'll quickly go through it, so that I can better explain the passage maybe later. Okay, so the first paragraph, I'm on page number 100. Okay, so my fellow musicians and dancers, as they were beaten up by the police. So he's talking about a situation where he is almost into a performance, and there he himself and his fellow performers are beaten up by police, and he's just telling us like what exactly led to this particular instance. What exactly is the reason for this particular cruel kind of treatment to these set of people. And somewhere towards the last paragraph, he says like, but we Sandals are fools. So he belongs to this particular category called Santals. Right now we consider the Indian constitution consider them as a category called scheduled tribes. Okay, basically forest dwellers, so Sandals. But when you look into the history, you will understand that in history also we'll study, especially when we study Indian national movement, we study that there is something that we study as Sandal uprising. So they were like a group of people who stood up against the Britishers, and maybe because of that, you can say to an extent that they have been scheduled as tribal groups, the uncultured groups, and you can say that they are not civilized. Okay, they don't have education, they have no access to education. All these things, as it has come into place. So anyway, whatever it is, so he actually belongs to the category called Sandals, that you have to remember. Sandal, it's a tribal group in India. Okay, basically forest dwellers, and they were like very powerful and strong, and they have their own culture, they have their own dance forms, you can say. They have their own kingship kingship and the set of rulers and everything. So it's like they have got a distinct identity in the history of India, you can say. All of us are Adivasis, are fools. So another point that you can remember is like he belongs to the category called Adivasis. Adivasis, again, a tribal group. Adivasi means the first Vasis. Vasis means those people who are living in that particular place. So the first set of people who have inhabited the mainland. Okay, so in fact, when we call somebody as Adivasi in a derogatory sense, you can say that it has a kind of, it has got a kind of a derogatory, or you can say secondary kind of a thing, or a bad remark kind of a thing, that word. But basically the word is in fact neutral. It has no sense of something that is bad in it. They are the early inhabitants of this particular land. Okay, so they actually own the land, you can say. Okay, Adivasi is the first inhabitants. Okay, there is nothing wrong or something that is bad or derogatory in this particular world called Adivasi. So he says that he actually belongs to what? He belongs to that group which is called as Adivasis. Down the years, down generations, the Diku have taken advantage of our foolishness. Okay, tell me if I am wrong. So he is says like right now our sufferings are unheard. Okay, and he continues, we Adivasis will not dance anymore. He says why exactly is saying this. Okay, what's wrong with that? We are like toys. You are looking at like toys. Someone presses our on button or turns a key in our backsides, and these sandals start beating the rhythms on our thamak and tamdak, or start blowing tunes on our theory, while someone else snatches away our very dancing grounds. So he says like we are like dolls. When the key is on, we have started dancing, or we'll start blowing tunes. Okay, so we are looked at like objects. Okay, we are looked at, or we are approached like toys that can dance in tune with the wishes of the others. So that is the attitude that he has. So he has a kind of realization, and that is why he says like we are not ready to dance anymore. Why? Because we are, even while we are dancing, somebody else is snatching away our land. So we'll get a better understanding of this towards the end of the passage. But still, in its general sense also, everywhere we are trying to showcase these tribals, especially when you go to the North India, and he says like specific reference to Jharkhand. Okay, when somebody is asking about the Jharkhandi culture, you can say that it is basically the tribal culture, and the tribals are in fact being used as as objects for pleasure, or you can say there is a kind of an objectification of tribals. Okay, that you can see there. And also like where we are losing our dancing grounds, means we are losing the very culture of ours, or the very base of ours, we are losing it. Yet we have been asked to dance. Why? Because you want to enjoy our dancing, just for the sake of your pleasure, we have been asked to dance. Now in page number 101, he says like there is he talks about the president. Okay, and he says like I had thought that he would listen to my words. Isn't he our neighbor? His forefathers were all from the Bibhum district next door. So that president of India was from Bengal, and his forefathers are from Bifur district next door. His ancestral house is still there. Birbhum is where Rabin Haram lived in harmony with Sandals. It is reference to Rabindranath Tagore. So he is trying to place why exactly he thought of raising his concerns to the president of India, who is basically a Bengali. That is what he says. Then in the next paragraph, I mean the last paragraph of that page 101, he says like most of the land of the Santals have been acquired by the mining company. It's a rich company, so he says like we have no voice because a rich company has taken up their land, and it is not that we didn't fight the acquisition when the company the company took away the property from the Sandals. They did fight, but while we were fighting, a political leader came, and that political leader came, this Christian sister. Christian means Christian, sister means nuns, and Christian father. So there was like a Christian nun and a Christian priest who came to support them, apparently supported us, but we lost. After we lost, everybody left, and this Christian nun, she was killed, okay, in the meantime. And that also, that act of the death of or you can say the murder of that Christian nun was placed on Sandal boys, because they says like they are like, why exactly we should kill that Christian nun, because by killing that Christian nun we are not going to get anything. So why exactly Sandal boys has to do that? But still, the mining company, they wanted to end the life of that Christian nun, because that nun is trying to that sister or the nun is trying to educate the Santals. Okay, so if the Santals get educated, they'll get to know about their rights. So the mining company actually wanted to kill the sister, or I can say that Christian missionaries up there, and they killed them, or they killed that sister or that nun, and placed that murder on Sandal boys. Okay, so in both way, it is an advantage for the mining company. Okay. So then page number 102, the Christian sister and the Sandal boys out of the way. Both of them are no longer in the path, and the mining company, they grab as much land as possible. So the missionaries are not there, the Santals, the boys who were like kind of revolutionaries, they are not there now. The mining company, they can grab as much land as possible, build as many mines as possible, and dig the coal from this is how the coal company works. So wherever there is a protest, they'll do something to bring down the protesters, and they get along with their work. So is the scenario so difficult to understand that the media does not get it? So it's very something very obvious. We, the people who are like least educated, we can understand the situation, but the media is, they cannot understand such situations. So there is a kind of an irony again in that particular statement. The media is well aware of all these things, but they are like keeping their mouth shut. Okay. Then if all merchants have taken a part of our lands, the other part is taken over by stone merchants, all Diku, Marwari, Sindhi, Mandal, Bhagat and Muslim. They come and they take the property from us. They turn our land upside down, inside out with their heavy machines. They plow the land and they try to dig and get as many as things are possible, which are in fact being left out by the mining companies.